In this video, I want to talk about and demonstrate the match color adjustment. Now, this is a destructive operation you can perform to the pixels of your image, and to help showcase it, I have two pictures open that both come with the Windows 7 default sample pictures. So if you have Windows 7, you probably already have these images. If you don't, really any two pictures will work. This is just a really cool example because both of the pictures happen to be of flowers. So here I have our chrysanthemum picture, which of course is this brilliant and beautiful orange and red. It's a very, very nice color in the image. And then we have these tulips, which are also very nice. But what if we wanted the tulips to be the same color as the chrysanthemum? And you don't want to spend a whole lot of time trying to match up hues or anything like that. You need one quick way to go about it. Well, here's how we're going to do this. First off, I'm going to show a tool which is completely unrelated. It's just going to help make things a little easier to do. We're going to go to Select and jump over to Color Range. Now, without getting too far into what this is doing, though it is pretty straightforward, it's just selecting by a specific color, and fuzziness allows us to kind of expand out from that initial range. We're going to leave fuzziness pretty low for starters, and just hold down Shift and click on various points inside our tulips. So anytime you see these little dark areas inside the tulips, you want to click on those dark areas to add those to our current selection. Now currently our selection preview is set to grayscale. You can set this to anything you like, so we can set this over to none, we can set it over to black matte, and you just play with those settings as you need to get the one that works best for you. I kind of like grayscale. It just sort of helps me see what's going to be selected because the white areas are going to be selected and the black areas will not. So I'm just going to really carefully grab all that. I'm going to Alt-click the sky. I do not want the sky, period. But I do want all of the yellow of the tulips themselves. And if we start to bleed down a little bit onto the stalks, that'll actually be okay too, though I anticipate things might get a little weird looking right in there, which of course it's okay for our purposes. Now once you have a selection that looks like you've pretty much got the petals of the tulips and pretty much nothing else, then you're ready to move on. And again, all I've done is just hold down Shift and click on the darkened areas within those petals. You can flex your fuzziness value a little bit to expand that out. Just watch out. If you crank it too far, you're going to start grabbing other areas of the image, and we don't want that. So we'll click OK, and that gives us a nice selection of just those yellow petals. Now we can move over to Match Color. So let's go to Image, Adjustments, and jump down to Match Color. Now again, this is a destructive operation. This is actually going to affect our pixels. All right? Now starting at the top, we have Ignore Selection when applying adjustment. We don't want to do that, and you'll see why here in just a little bit. In fact, I'm going to switch over the image options or skip over those. We're not going to touch those just yet. First off, we need to choose a source. Where are we getting the color that we want to match to? We're going to get that from the chrysanthemum image, and really, just like that, we're pretty much already done. If we grab the layer dropdown, if the source document had a whole lot of different layers, we could choose which layer we wanted to pull color from. Also, we can choose to use selection in the target or selection in the source. So if over on the chrysanthemum image, which this is a modal window, I can't jump over to it. If there was a particular area we wanted to match to, we could go make that selection first and use that selection to grab the color from that part of our source image and apply it to our target. But since we're not really doing that. We're kind of grabbing an average of all of the colors at once. Now, in our image options, we have the ability to adjust our luminance if we want to brighten things up or darken them. We have color intensity, which again, I mean, the name is pretty straightforward. It's just going to adjust the overall intensity of the colors. It's nice to be able to adjust that here because we're getting kind of a weird purplish hue in some of our highlights, and we can tweak that around a little bit, and pushing those to yellow feels a bit more natural. And then we can fade the effect if we want and go all the way back to something close to the original color, though it still looks a little funny. If you click neutralize, that's going to fix any sort of color cast that have been applied, but in this case that's not going to help us too much. We actually want that color cast. When you're happy, go ahead and click OK, and I'll hit Control D to deselect, and now we have some tulips that are the same color as our chrysanthemum. So a pretty straightforward tool, extremely easy to use, very, very handy if you need to make one image reflect the color tone of another. But that will wrap things up for this video. Thanks a lot for watching.